Roblox. It's a game that has defined me and many other people's childhoods. It's gone through many changes over the years, for better or for worse. I'm not here to talk about how old Roblox is better than Roblox as it is right now. I'm just here to tell you about the golden era of Roblox, from 2011 to 2013, the years that I was most active and the years many consider to be some of the best on the platform. Sure, old Roblox isn't perfect. It had its share of problems, such as copied games, the infamous hack of 2012, but it had some of the most fun games out, and one of the best free-time play online games at the time, even better than Club Penguin or any of those other MMOs at the time for me. I just love this game. And this is the story of those years on Roblox that I was joining. I hope you guys enjoy. Old Roblox wasn't perfect, as many of its most popular games were lazily copied, such as any type of car game. Welcome to the neighborhood of Robloxia by One especially. That game was copied over so many times. You could see, especially by Julius Cools, I think his name was. I remember him. He copied that game a lot. He was known for it back in the day of just copying old Roblox games. And many more online daters on the platform than now. Now you just don't see them as much. But back then they were everywhere on Roblox, man. There were so many of them. Needless to say, it had a few issues, but it was still a great game overall for me, even with these issues. I started about Roblox in mid-2010, but didn't make an account until a year later in 2011. Back in those days, some of those popular games were survival disasters. Welcome to Roblox building, as I previously mentioned, welcome to the town of Robloxia. I played these games and enjoyed a lot of them, making memories and friends in the process of the platform during this time period. This was only the beginning, as I was continuing to play games more and more. And with that, just like that, I also played Neighborhood of Robloxia before. Any game that interested me, I would try to play it when I was young. There was tons. The front page was so much different. It wasn't filled with simulators as it is now. It was filled with games like Slide Down 999 Miles, which was another game heavily copied, where you just slide down a slide, and then go to the end. That was also another popular format of games. But I think the games had a charm to them. Sure, even the vehicle physics weren't the best back in those days, or the vehicles themselves. But Roblox was just so special back then, because the community was very interested. The developers really cared about their community and their games, and it wasn't as much a paid aspect to it. But overall, I think Roblox back then, it was just a very special time between those years, and after that, it just sort of lost its magic. But it's still a fun game. I would recommend. I still like Roblox. I've still played it. 10 years later, I'm still on this platform, and I just think it's still a great game. But those years were very special to me and many other people, because we grew up during that time. Those were the games we grew up with. It's just a great time to be on the Roblox platform as a whole. Yes, Callie, why can't you just go back and experience the old games? What's the problem with that? They still exist on Roblox, don't they? Well, you're right in that aspect. But the problem is most of the games are broken or closed by the developers they were made by, meaning we can't go back and play them or experiencing them. Or they have newer versions of themselves, which are totally different from the one we used to play. And that's just because Roblox has updated so much. It's changed. It's changed a lot since then. Developers have more possibilities. Dynamic lighting was introduced in 2013. Just a ton of stuff that's kept developers going and going. And this is why so many people want the old Roblox back. They can't get these experiences again. It just doesn't happen. You need to go back to old Roblox to understand this. But sure, the physics were wonky, but people have nostalgia for that specific era. People want this to come back because of that. They just have all the nostalgia for it. But sometimes they don't realize that some of these new development features are better for newer Roblox. But it would be cool, honestly. I think what Roblox should do is they should have two versions of their site. They should have the newer version, right? And they make a reboot, like the Roblox Classic Edition, which will have all the old games on there. I think that would be true. That would satisfy both ends of the spectrum here. And I think that would really solve this issue. But that does not mean that old Roblox games are entirely dead. There is still a way for you to play them if you really want to. Not all the Roblox games from the 2010 era can still be played, but much like Club Penguin and Two Town, the community has revived it the Roblox community has by making old revivals of the game. The two on the Roblox website that I know are Retro Roblox and Super Nostalgia Zone. Now these two do a great job of recreating the era they're going for, which is like 2007 to 2008. But the only problem is they have a limited number of games, and there's not that much to do on them. And all the cosmetics you have to pay with Robux in the site, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I think the site itself does a good job of replicating the era if all you care about is playing the games. Now, that does not mean there's still more ways of getting this. There's offsite ones, like clients per se, that you can get, known as Novatus and Finode. Now, let's first of all talk about Novatus. Novatus replicates the years from 2007 up to 2011. Well, that's outdated now. They just came out with a new version that goes back to 2006. And it has more old games than the ones in the Roblox website, tons of cosmetic options, and you can play with your character. It's just a download on itch.io that you can go check out if you want. I've even, me and my friends like to play it. I've even met a couple of people through the Discord server, which also has extra content for downloading maps and all that. The only problem is it's a bit hard to host your own server, which you need to port for your Wi-Fi network to do, so people join directly off of you. So if you don't have good internet, I would recommend to try to get a friend to host it or someone else. But that's a great way of experiencing those years of Roblox. Very accurately represented. Now, a few things are broken with the maps, not everything works, but I think it still does a fantastic job of what it's going for. Now, the second client, Finode, is a little bit different than what we're talking about with Novatus. It does the years 2016 and 2012, which I like 2012. 2016 was a bit of an odd option for me, but they have a ton of classic games. They have Roblox Derby, the Wipeout Hobby, and many other games that you can go and check out. But the only way to join Finode is to get an invite code, but you don't need to port forward your Wi-Fi network or anything. You just join off their servers and you can go into the game. The cons to that is, the invite key, which you can only get if you know someone who's on that platform, and the community is a bit toxic, no chat filters. So with that being said, please, if you do get a Finode invite key, I do recommend being careful on that site, because it's pretty unfiltered and you don't know what can happen. But other than that, I think it is a great way to experience old Roblox. Even with all that said. So all these options, for you newer players or people who really want to experience it, if we can't get a Roblox, something official from Roblox is the best way to do it. These are the best way to play old Roblox with these great eras of the game that I truly enjoyed when I was younger. And I think that's what you should do. Old Roblox was a great time for people who grew up with it, especially the era for me, 2010, 2013, or 2011 to 2013. I think those are fantastic years of Roblox. It always has its fair share of issues. Any version of Roblox does, including the current one. Sure, it's very nostalgic for me. I remember most of the time I've never played Roblox more than that period of time, and even today I still play it. I love Roblox. I think it's a fantastic game. And it's something that I will never forget playing, even as I get older. Even though Roblox has made a lot of mistakes in recent times, but I think with Earthbound, and the forums being deleted, tickets being removed, people don't like those changes. But I think from a development standpoint, it's getting better and better games. Besides the simulators that are covering the front page, besides those, you can find a hidden gem in the front page, and you can barely enjoy yourself playing these games. They're more complex than ever, and some of them are more fun than ever, more mind-blowing than ever before in Roblox. And I think it's the perfect time, even if you're new, to just try out some Roblox games. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was my first scripted video format. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me if you want to see more of these videos in the future. These take a while to make, but that being said, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.